The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of restrictive content warning or any sort of warning as to what may be in the game. From what I have played so far, it doesn't seem to have anything worrisome in terms of age-restrictive content. So if I were to guess, if it were to have an ESRB rating, I would say most likely it would be rated E for everyone. So following that guess, and having never completed the game, I can't say exactly the whole of it just from my experience, but I would say that anyone under the age of 6 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Autonauts. So the premise of Autonauts is that you are sent to a uninhabited world to build a colony for your people, and you're sent there alone without any helpers or assistants, and you're expected to build everything to get a colony up and running. Technically, yes, one person can do all of that. At the very least, they can do it in pieces. It wouldn't be that big of a colony, or that impressive of a colony, or that effective of a colony, but it would be a colony. And the fact that there would be people living there, and you would be basically working your... How do I want to phrase this nicely? You'd be basically working yourself to death in order to actually appease them and keep them fed and sheltered. And that's even before the invention of clothing, which I technically haven't gotten to yet in this colony. I haven't heard them complain about it, so I'm assuming they're fine. To be fair, they don't really give much in the way of feedback, so I'm assuming I can do everything short of lighting everything on fire, and they really wouldn't care. The only thing that would happen is that I wouldn't get their love, which I only need to actually research new technologies. It's a weird cycle, but I digress, and as I was saying, you could work yourself to death, chopping down every tree, processing every log into an innumerable amount of stuff that you need to then build other things, and hauling resources around to keep everything maintained, and so you have supplies to build everything else. You can do all of that. It's crazy to do all of that, but you can. Again, not exactly. As far as I know, you can't actually get other people to help you run and maintain your colony. As far as I know, there's no multiplayer aspect to this game as yet. I have seen reports that they are coming out with alternate gaming mode for this particular game, but I haven't read anything recently about it, so I don't know anything outside of the fact that they're working on it. But again, I digress. And as I was saying, you can build everything and chop everything down and manufacture every good and perform every service, but you don't have to, because one of the things that you can build in addition to buildings and workstations and tools, what you can do is build an entire army of programmable robots to do all of the grunt work for you. Well, for starters, that game mechanic technically isn't in the game yet. As far as I know, it's not in the game yet, or at the very least, I haven't come across it. Well, I do have a couple checks and balances in place to prevent the robots from becoming self-sustaining, if in fact they do decide to revolt and overthrow my benevolent rule. Now, to be fair, those checks and balances get eroded every time I have the robots start a new secondary industry, which is essentially a method of doing things that doesn't directly involve gathering resources, processing the resources, or directly feeding the colonists, or basically maintaining the colonists' well-being. But again, as far as I know, they don't revolt. That could become added in an extra DLC, which would just simply add to the headaches, trying to keep your robotic workforce happy as well as the colonists. But again, as I said, the colonists don't complain about the only good thing that those lazy... What? I wasn't going to say anything too restricted. Definitely not all that restricted. Maybe a little, but let's just say they sit around all day. And that's the gist of the game. And if you haven't seen any of the prior episodes so far, I've built a rather, I want to say modest, but still rather large colony. But I need room for more things, because as the colony grows, so does its needs and amount of resources required to sustain it. And part of that expansion was moving all of my farms to one centrally located, but still rather large, space, which I was in the process of doing at the end of last episode, and I had one thought to basically continue work on that in between episodes. I never actually got around to it, and right before I started filming, I decided, you know what, the robots work independent of whether or not you're there, outside of needing their batteries recharged. I could basically have them set up to continue working on building new farms and that sort of thing, and basically walk away, do something more important, and then come back and when they're done and just move them on elsewhere. So that's the plan for right now. Or at least that's the plan for the plan right now. If you haven't seen any of the prior episodes, I keep planning on creating new goods and farms to grow those goods, specifically carrots and coconuts. And it's basically been a running joke throughout the episodes that I've had access to carrots and coconuts that I say I'm going to get to carrots and coconuts today, and I don't. Or at least so far it's been a running joke, and we'll see if I can get to it today. And with that out of the way, this game is of course made by... Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Okay, so here we are at the colony. I didn't actually give this colony a name. Not that I can officially give the colony a name, but I never actually gave the colony a name. So, a bunch of stuff is going on. There is... Well, so these are the new farms. I have 6 farms out here. The 2 farms that I have finished and up and running are the weed farms. Don't read too much into that. Which are designed to gather weeds, which... I was going to say they're completely out of, but that's actually raw pumpkin. Which they are using as, I guess, garnish for the various foods that the colonists are eating. And then they produce these little heart-shaped stone icon thingies known as WUV, which get dumped in here for storage, and which is then also fed to the research laboratory to research new tech. And Once new tech unlocks, I get shiny extra new things to play with. And I'm in the process of moving, as I said, all of the farms from where they were to where they're going to be now. And while I have these 2 farms done, the next 2 farms I was working on were planning on being the berry patch and the mushroom farm. So I'm in the process of essentially decommissioning the berries, and they've removed all of the berry trees that were there. So now all I got to do is move this thing over and replant the berries and get somebody to... Is he digging up the berry bush? I'm hoping he's not digging up that berry bush. No, he's digging right next to... He's digging up what's next to the berry bush. I mean, I probably don't need this entire field covered with berries, but, you know, it looks cool, and I'm crazy like that. So, there's that. And then the mushroom farm is in the process of being decommissioned. What I basically do is stop having them replant the mushrooms, just once they dig them up. So whatever mushrooms get removed here, get dumped here, and then they're taken all the way over here. And once they're done clearing out the mushrooms, although technically I don't need them to clear out the mushrooms, I can just move storage down here. I was planning on having the Mark 1 bots take over the farming, so there's that. And why isn't this cut? Oh, you're out of power. I mean, the cut grass isn't being gathered because he's out of power, but as for who's cutting the grass, I don't actually know. Am I low on shovels again? No, I'm not low on shovels. If anything, I'm maxed out on shovels. I'm also maxed out on logs as well. And they're just chopping them all down. Huh. No, it's feast or famine with resources with these things. You know, I can build up industry after industry after industry and then run low on supply of their resources. So I increase resources and suddenly I have a massive surplus again and I'm just tripping over everything. Alright, so what I need them to do is to basically build new farms, and I have so much stuff going on, I can't figure out what exactly I want to have go on, and okay, so you're collecting turf, you're digging things up. Right. Okay, so I'm going to have you move down here. And it's going to be another farm, and then another farm, and then another farm. Well, maybe not another farm down here, because it would encroach upon this metal plot, and I don't think it can grow crops there. But anyway, new farm here, go. Alright, so doing that, you're on that one. Oh, there you were. Let's say, I know I have 2 bots doing this. Drag it down here. And go. And then you 2. Move down to this one. For a second I thought I hit the wrong button, but I didn't. Right, and as for the people collecting turf, do I really want the mountains to get any taller? The answer to that is not really no. So what I'm going to have you do is... yeah. Do that here and then drop them off. We'll say here. for now. And drop that off here. And go. So what do I want this stack? I'll put this stack here for lack of any other better place. And then I just have the recharging bots. Move there. Area down one. There we go. So then they'll start working on the new farm, building even more farms. So I was going to have this one be berries and this one mushrooms. I think the next two that I would probably make would be pumpkins here and then apples, or apples and pumpkins. But basically pumpkins and apples will be right down here. And then this one will be wheat and... I'm gonna guess technically cotton, because I do need to clothe the colonists eventually. And I did recently pick up the tax to do so, so I guess it would be like wheat and cotton, and then carrots and coconuts, or you know, I might just have farmland out here somewhere, maybe over here or over here. I mean, this area is half. I wouldn't say half dirt anyway, but it's mostly dirt. I can just clear cut this forest and be good. Also, I should probably build a road over here. I mean, they're constantly using this as a major thoroughfare. So I probably should, just for fun. And they just finished researching the robotics technology Mark II. So I get access to a better bot speed upgrade, a better bot energy upgrade, so that way the batteries don't run out as fast. A bot backpack upgrade. I guess that allows them to carry more things. A power upgrade. Not quite certain how the power... I think power is allows them to lift things, as opposed to actual like battery power. Sensor upgrade, a bot brain upgrade, so they can hold more commands for their programming. The Mark II drive, the Mark II body, and the Mark II head. Kind of actually creepy looking, truth be told. Also get a good bot workbench, where I'm assuming I make the Mark II bots, and bot storage. And apparently I also have 150 bots made. Why that didn't flag beforehand, I have absolutely no idea, but I guess the official plan didn't actually work until... Well, it didn't get unlocked until I got the Mark II bots, because I'm guessing the designers of the game figured, oh, they're probably not going to have that many bots this early. You'll get to Mark II bots before you hit 150 bots. To be fair, they've never seen me play, and as far as I know, they still have never seen me play, so there's that. Anyway, I unlocked the Wonder number 5 bot database. Find any bot in the world to create teams of teams in the bot tracker. Okay. And apparently get a commemorative, the robotics commemorative slab. Get added to the totem pole. Yay me. I just rewind you. And what do I get to build now? So bot storage, I need 4 panels and 2 square frames. And the new Wonder requires 4 square frames, 6 panels, 4 crude axles, 16 tree seats, and 8 good gears. Also, it looks like it needs to be built on top of a floor and within walls. So, it's also quite large. Very, very quite large. Anyway, bot storage. I mean, if I can just fit all of my bots in storage, it would, I was going to say, I have a lot of basic bots, and as I'm replacing their workstations and filling them with Mark 1 bots, they're basically becoming obsolete and getting in the way. So bot storage should technically help me clear things up. So let me put one down. And I need 4 panels and 2 square frames. Alright, and the basic bot workbench I can upgrade now to the, I'm guessing, good workbench, and that requires 4 logs, 8 panels, and 6 square frames. Can I cancel this? I can cancel this. Okay, good. Because, yeah, I'm going to have to mass produce square frames and panels if I'm upgrading all 9 of these. Of course, I don't need to upgrade all 9 of these, but then again, once I start producing Mark II bots, I'm going to question why I need to produce Mark 1 bots, much in the way like when I started mass producing Mark 1 bots. I have yet to build a basic bot as far as I know. Also, do I have anything to store liquids? Wrong button. Also wrong button. Just get rid of you. And close that out. To the Autonautopedia. You know, some of the advanced resources, well, some of the advanced foods require water, and I know I need buckets to get water. I just don't know exactly where I'm storing it in. Huh. Watering can, interesting. I'm assuming that's how you irrigate the wheat. Bucket fresh water equals water. Where do you store the water when it's not in a bucket? Now the buckets get stored in the storage bins. I guess maybe barrels, that would make sense. But still, it's not telling me, although I wonder if these are all parts and other resources. Where is... These are tools. These are all bot parts. Yeah, there's like even a higher upgrade of bot pieces. It's apparently a Mark II variant of the second variant of the Mark II, Mark 1s. Third variant as well, apparently. 4. Interesting. So there's actually 4 different variants of robots, and they go up to 3 tiers. Interesting. Very interesting. Of course, now that I have the Mark II bots, once I start mass producing these, I won't need any of the variants of the Mark 1s. Not that I remember exactly how I unlocked the variants. Wow. 10 planks and 4 poles for a barrel. That's interesting. Apparently I can upgrade to a cask. Huh. Alright, well, looking at the Autonautopedia isn't going to get me what I need to get done. So, moving right along. And they are actually out of berries. I should have moved berry storage sooner. Oh well. Alright, so let me get 4 head. Do I have... It looks like you're already part of the berryman. Or mushroom. What color is the berryman? Berryman's a different color. Where is my mouse? There you are. Right, so whatever... Right, because I don't need berrymen constantly digging holes, I have this guy who's eventually going to be part of the mushmen digging up right now. That's how I work that. Now that I remember. Okay, yeah, I'm carrying a head. Need more heads. To point out, in the time that it took for me to grab a head and figure out what was going on, because I just plain old forgot, and they built a new head. So dump you off there, grab you, toss you there, grab you, toss you there. Wrong button. Wrong button. Toss you there. Build a new bot. Why do I have power upgrades just sitting here? Stick you in there. This is what I want you to do. You're going to come over here. I'm going to grab a berry. I'm going to find the nearest berry in all of this space. And you're going to pick up the berry. I'm going to do all of this until hands full. Probably a bad idea to have this loop here right now because it looks like there's, well, I mean, there's 4 trees already on the field just naturally, and there's 4 berries on the map, so you should be fine. Because I'm holding one of the berries. Then I want you to come here. No, wrong button. I want you to come here, find a hole in this section right here. I need to do this until hands empty. Do all of that forever, and now go. And once the plot's actually been dug out and all the berry trees planted, I'll move berry storage down from where the old farm was to the new farm, and go from there, and readjust the programming from there. But you are now officially a berryman. Oh, look at that. Right, and he's going to need new berries to harvest. So what's this thing? And I realized, oh no, that's just me. Alright, and speaking of which, move the original Mark 1, well, Mark 1 variant 1 recharger down here, so that way both rechargers are down in this area. At least they will be eventually. And it's all... Right now for the Mark 1 bots, it's just recharger 1, recharger 2, and the guy planting berries. Once, you know, more berry bushes are there. In the meantime, make another bot. I'm gonna wonder if they have 2 bots out there that didn't get their power packs upgrades. Oh well. I'm going to need threshers. Not threshers, flails. Might as well be the same thing. At least I think you use flails for berries. If not, this is going to be interesting. Let's rewind you. And rewind you. I'd say where is their recharger bot, but I think the old Apple industry is so old they don't have a Mark 1 recharger. Right. Give this... Come on. Give this flail to you. Wrong button. I don't think I need the axe right now, so we'll just drop that off. Say, should have an old flail, but that one was partially damaged. Where is... Oh, there's my flail. So I just have like a whole bunch of parts just lying around. Let's rewind you. And come over here. Alright, so this is what I want you to do. You're going to come over here and, well, basically beat the living daylights out of this berry bush. Do that in this 15 by 15 area. Going to do this for until hands empty. And at which point, I'm going to come back over here and grab a new flail. Alright, you're going to do all of this forever. Now go. Oh, no. And I'm going to need a flail anyway. Just plop this down here. Alright, well there's still berry bushes left to flail, although technically I could just use one that isn't in a field. Need 2 battery upgrades for the other 2 remaining bots. Plug this here. Grab this, hand this to you. And this is what I want you to do. And he's whacked all the bushes. Well, all but one bush, so what I want you to do is we're going to practice on this guy because he's out in the lonesome. I'm going to whack this bush. Come on. You're going to do that until hands empty. At which point you're just going to come back over here and grab this flail. You're going to do that forever. Now go. And technically, since this is now empty and they no longer have any... Oh, look, a random stick. Have any bushes up here, what I can also do is just simply move berry storage, and since it's empty, it's moving it one at a time because it can do that. And I'll put it here. There we are. Alright, what I should have done, stop for a second. You're actually going to do this until question mark is filled. Question mark being berry storage. And then you're going to do all of that forever. Now go. And the same with you. And that way, they will stop hitting their berry bushes once the berry storage is filled. And because the robot, or soon will be robots, that are picking the berries, or picking the berries up, aren't actually putting them in storage just yet. They're planting new bushes. They should keep going until this guy manages to dig up the entire field, and then they managed to plant all of the berries. And as such, I should probably build the funnel bot for this group. Now, this is what I want you to do. You're going to come over, but work on program using this one because it's outside the field. I'm just going to sit there otherwise. Alright, so you're going to find berries in this... ...17 by 17 area. Get rid of that. I'm going to work on it, do this until hand's full, at which point you're going to go plant it. I'm going to do this until hand's empty. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now go. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I just moved the storage down here, what I can also program is, rather than just doing forever, doing until this is filled, and then doing all of that forever. Now go. And yes, I know I could technically... Right. So where's the other guy that's supposed to be grabbing the berries? But I think I already put him as a berryman. In fact, I think that's him right there. Yeah, that's him right there. I'm going to have you stop real quick. Okay, you're going to record. So your forever loop is now a do until this is filled, and then do that forever. Now go. One less thing I got to remember to reprogram once the actual field is done. Well planted. Now all I have to do is, rather than having them replant the berries, they just take everything to berry storage. Right, and then these guys... are also berrymen. Okay, so... they're still working on the fields. These guys will just keep working until, well, they get done. As I said, once the entire berry field is filled, and then I'll just reprogram them to, instead of planting the berries, putting them in storage. And rather than building a new storage, I just moved the old storage, so that way the logicians that are pulling berries from here and then taking them here, and by logicians I mean logician, just this guy, I don't have to reprogram him to look for the new storage. He just automatically goes to this storage. Kind of handy like that. And they're now done this field, so... I don't need a flail for this, so... I'm going to put that back in storage. And I realize, no, this is my flail. I'm going to need to recharge you, though. Alright, so the berrymen are... I mean, I gotta remove all the old berrymen, but that's an issue for not right now. As for the mushmen, the mushroom pickers, where are their rechargers? I got this guy digging holes here, this guy... Okay, so he's actually digging up the grass right now. That's where all the chopped grass was. Okay. So I'll have him keep doing that, and, okay, so your recharger... So I already have the rechargers in place, at least one recharger in place. The other one's all the way up here. Alright, so my one thought was to have somebody start digging up the holes for this field, but he's currently digging up all the grass, so... And the other one is digging up the berry field, and I don't want more than 2 shovelers digging holes, because that's, I believe, what I have for the old field. And unlike the berries, where it's just basically plant the tree, harvest tree, let regrow, and then harvest again, the mushrooms you have to dig up every time. So I'm going to need 2 robots. I'm going to need 2 robots digging the holes, 2 robots planting mushrooms, 2 robots harvesting the mushrooms, and then 2 robots collecting the mushrooms and putting them in storage. So I actually do need 4 robots shoveling things. So let me get a couple more bots. You gotta remember, it's charge up and then whistle. Right, I did not give you a shovel. Just going around rewinding everybody real quick. Alright, shovel. This guy, where is he? Alright, so, I mean, I already had him selected. I could have just hit record. This is what I want you to do. If my mouse will cooperate. When you come over here, you're going to dig up this hole. Well, you're going to dig a hole. I am at mark 111. For some reason that amuses me. You're just going to dig holes until hand's empty, at which point you're going to come back. Come on. Come back and grab a new shovel. Not really, because I'm not adding new robots that need shovels. I'm basically replacing robots that use shovels with different robots using shovels. And anyway, you're going to do all of that until question mark filled. Question mark being this storage. You're going to do all of that forever. Now go. I'm going to need this shovel anyway. Because I think it's a case that I need to redig the hole once all the mushrooms come up. Oh well, worst case I'll have 2 extra bots that are shoveling things for no apparent reason. On the plus side, he's done anyway, so... I mean, I guess I don't really need the new bot just yet. Instead, I need you to do... Wrong button. There we are. Get rid of this. I'm going to dig the here. Alright, so I programmed him so that way instead of digging up the grass, he's going to dig up the dirt. We should keep doing that, and if memory serves, get in the backpack, just grab the mushroom, plant this here. I mean, there are other mushrooms here that I could test on. Like this one, for instance. Yeah, I do need somebody to replant the mushrooms once. Well, to dig up the hole and then replant the mushroom. And this bot isn't going to be digging holes, he's just going to be essentially collecting the mushrooms. Almost forgot to give him the battery upgrade. Alright, so you are going to collect these mushrooms. Yeah, I want them in a 17 by 17 area just for overflow. To do this until hands full, and normally it would be shove in storage crate, but I want the field full first before I start dumping things in storage, because I have a feeling the logician will essentially just take everything out of storage. I mean, it's probably going to be mostly storage anyway. Well, not mostly storage anyway. Storage would be mostly empty by the time they actually get the field dug out. Alright, and then do this until question mark filled. Question mark being this thing. And then do that forever. Now go. Alright, so you are now a mushman. You are also a mushman. The berryman. I noticed a couple berries just sitting out and about. Okay, so the berry collectors are... Wow. They've actually almost finished filling the entire field. I didn't think it would take them that... they'd get done that quickly. In fact, they're basically just following this guy as he digs the holes. And he digs a hole, he moves on. The guy comes in and plants, and they're just following this amusingly looking conga line. Anyway, right, question got answered. Here we are. Most doesn't seem to be as responsive as it should be. I guess that's what I get for playing too many mouse-driven PC games. Didn't think optical mice could wear out. It's not like it's got a trackball. But I digress, and he's out of mushrooms, isn't he? Right. So I'm going to need a new bot to complete the chain. And that shovel I grabbed, you get. Now, this is what I want you to do. You're going to come over here. You're going to dig up this mushroom. You're going to dig up mushrooms in this 15 by 15 area. And do this until hands empty. At which point, I should probably just grab a new shovel to begin with, because mine's almost busted. You're going to come over here and grab a new shovel. Right, and I should not be recharging bots when I'm in the middle of programming a different bot. And you're going to do this until question mark is filled, question mark being this storage, which is now technically empty. And you're going to do that forever. Now go. And I should have moved the storage before they emptied it out, but I was busy doing other things. So now, rather than moving the entire stack all at once... Actually, you know what, that's not true. Hang on. Fix it out real quick. Are there... Right, so there's no spare mushrooms there. Why are you... Alright, they are in the middle of digging the field and they all ran out of power. So I think they're in the middle of digging a field and they ran out of power. I mean, this guy's essentially done Not the tree, the robot. There we go. Alright, so they basically finished these fields. I'm guessing he's trying to come over here and collect this piece of turf. That's why this guy didn't collect that turf instead. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Alright. Oh, and this field's practically filled with berries now. Anyway, as I was going to be saying, stick you there, dig up this mushroom, you know, I just realized this is probably not going to work. My plan is to dump the mushroom into the bin so that way I can, you know, just take all the bins real quickly, but something tells me the logician's sitting right outside the bin. And as soon as I dump a mushroom in there, he's just going to grab it. And lo and behold, I broke my shovel. Right, so I don't actually know how many mushrooms he's currently holding. Looks like actually none, but I could be mistaken by that. So let me try to dump these two in there and hope he doesn't take both of them. Oh, that's a sheep. Did not know a sheep was there. And yeah, he grabbed both of them. Okay, so I guess we do this the long way. Alright, so berry storage has been moved over there. I'm assuming everybody's just grabbing a new shovel. And I have one guy digging up the mushrooms, whereas I have two people digging the holes, so that way they will hopefully eventually fill the entire field. And in fact, the mushroom that was digging the holes for the berry field is now done. So where is he? Alright, okay. It's going to move your search area to the next field over. Funny that. That way I now have 3 people digging holes, so hopefully this field will eventually be filled with holes and slush or mushrooms, at which point one of the guys digging the holes will be switched over to digging up the mushrooms. And speaking of the berrymen and the fact that their field is now technically done, you record. Should have grabbed the berry before I had him record. We're gonna come over here and drop off the berry. Stick this until his hand's empty loop. Now go. That's for the other guy. I don't want take, I want store. Alright, and they should now be storing the berries. So the berry industry has now officially been moved. So all I gotta do is wait for the mushroomen to essentially do the same. And you know what? I should probably dig up this grass and replace it with turf so that way it looks all nice and pretty. It can move the mushroom storage into the actual collection area. And the bot I had digging up the grass is, well, no longer digging up the grass, so... I mean, it's basically only 3 chunks of grass. I don't plan on removing I mean, I probably could remove these 3 chunks of grass, but I don't know if his search area covers these 3 spots. And until I actually need the land for something else, I see little need to actually remove the grass right now. Alright, now that that's been dealt with, the storage is over. And we're good. Alright, and the guy holding the grass, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to have him do for right now. What is he, actually? Yeah, search area would not have covered that area anyway. Right, so the new fields are done. Well, sort of. They've been dug up. I gotta finish clearing out everything. And, you know, putting turf down here so that way it looks like 2 fields and not, well, 1. In the meantime, dig up the next one. Yeah, it's going to be over the metal area, so isn't enough room for a field here. So you guys are going to go over 1 space, and then these guys are going to go over 1 space, and then I guess I just go upwards until... Should point out, I'm running spots to dump these, to have these towers. Oh goody, I have an entire grass tower, that tower of cut grass that's so tall I can't even see the top. Anywho. No, that's actually metal as well. Okay, I was gonna say, this is dirt, right? Stop. Stop. Yeah, there's enough space underneath here, so it's just going to be this number of fields. I mean, I could go out this way. Yeah, let's actually have them start digging here. And then once these 2 fields are done, I'll put in 2 more fields here. You know what? Hang on. Because it doesn't look like there's going to be enough space up here. I'll have them working on this field and then put 2 more up here. And then 2 more over here if need be. A lot of space, and something tells me I'm going to have a lot of things to grow. And they maxed out berry storage. But since he's a berryman, he should go with the berryman. And 113. stop. All hands. Empty. Now go. Always fun when you discover a bug in the code. On the plus side, they're practically... Okay, so he's a mushroom. I say, they're practically done digging the holes in this field, but they haven't actually planted many mushrooms because the one guy that was supposed to dig the mushrooms up broke his shovel, and he's programmed to get a new shovel and keep getting new shovels so long as his hands are not empty. But that's been fixed now, so he should be doing his job as designed. Meantime, I gotta clear out these berry bushes. And I'm just gonna go steal a piece of turf from right here because it's closer than the towers of dirt. Nope, that one got grabbed. That one actually despawned. Someone's unpowered. Okay, so they are now done. They've fully dug up the mushroom field, such as they can. And, mushroom. There they are. Okay, digging up mushrooms. Mark 11 is going to go from digging hole, the job of digging more holes, to the job of digging up mushrooms once, he stops. Say if there are actually mushrooms to dig up. Alright, so now I should have 2 bots digging up mushrooms, 2 bots planting the mushrooms, 2 bots... 2 bots digging the holes, 2 bots... Okay, so I can't talk anymore. But now I should have 6 bots, 6 Mark 1 bots I should say, doing this job. 2 of them are digging up the mushrooms, 2 of them are picking up the mushrooms and replanting the mushrooms, and then 2 of them are digging up the holes left behind by said mushrooms. And I'm going to keep having them do this until the field gets maxed out, or at the very least mostly maxed out, at which point I'll have the guys picking up the mushrooms, dumping them off here, and have 2 more bots pulling them from storage and then replanting. So I have enough for 1 more bot. I should probably build that. I still have a shovel in my hand. Alright, so I'm going to have you record. I'm going to try to do this before the logician gets down here. But you're going to take the mushroom from loose storage. I'm going to do this until hands full, at which point you're going to plant the mushroom. Yeah, here comes the logician now. Do that in this 15 by 15 area. I'm going to do that until hands empty. I'm going to do that until question mark is filled, question mark being mushroom storage, and do that forever. Now go. Alright, let me build another bot. I'm just building the bots so that way I can have them ready to go, so once the field gets mostly filled with mushrooms, I can just simply reprogram the mushmen picking up the mushrooms to direct just to mushroom storage. So why did you just suddenly stop there? But then I realized he's just hauling the turf. Alright, now that the logician is hanging out by mushroom storage, I'm not going to be able to do that trick twice, at least not easily. However, there are plenty of mushrooms just sitting around, so if I toss a whole bunch of them in there... Really? It's supposed to have a carrying capacity of 4. Oh, he's grabbing them out of there. Right, anyway, you're going to grab a mushroom. You're going to do this until hands full. You're going to plant the mushroom. In this space. You're going to do this until hands empty. I'm going to do all of this until question mark filled, question mark being this guy, and then do that forever. Alright, and you are now part of the mushmen, and you are now part of the mushmen. So, okay, as I was saying, the new mushroom field should technically be good to go once the bots picking up the mushrooms, and there's apparently quite a large amount of excess mushrooms just sitting around. Anyway, once they finish planting all of these and filling the holes, basically sowing the field, that's the phrase I've been trying to say for God knows how long. Once that's done, I'll reprogram the bots doing that to, instead of planting, to just dumping off here, and then we should be good. As for you little basic bot right here, I have a special job for you. You're no longer going to be hauling grass. You are going to... which tower is massive? Trick question. They're all massive. Anyway, you're going to come over here. I find this stack of turf in this 2x2 field because I'm not certain if I have the corner of the search area on the mound or not. And that should be until hands empty. Loop. You want to come over here and plant the turf. Right, and I just need a space designated this way. Do that until your hands are empty. Now go and then stop. Empty your hands and then go. Because he was still carrying some grass. Just rewind you. Rewind you. Alright, so apples and pumpkins. One of these fields is not actually ready to go yet. Gonna need... Alright, a bot to dig. I mean, it looks like that they cleared up the field. Just get another bot. I probably should technically be doing this, making 2 bots. No, that's a variant drive. I want you. The power pack upgrade. And I should have gotten a shovel first. Oh well. This is what I want you to do. You're going to come over here, you're going to grab a shovel. I'm only doing this first because I need him to grab a shovel anyway. I said grab a shovel. Now, let's do this again. You hold that. Come over here, grab a shovel. You're going to come over here. You're going to dig up this soil. But I need you to do it in an alternating pattern. And it's going to fit this field. Going to do this until hand's empty, at which point you're going to go back and grab a new shovel. You're going to do that forever. Because this is not going to be his primary job. He's going to be one of the apple pickers, but much like the berry pickers, the apple trees, once the holes are dug and the trees are actually planted, they don't actually need somebody to constantly be digging the holes. So I'm going to have him dig alternating holes, and I'm going to say I'm only going to have one of them do this, just because unlike these fields right here, you know, I need space between the trees to actually get them, although I don't think I actually... Yeah, I mean, it's not bushes, it's actual trees. It'd be like here, as opposed to here. Alright, and I'm going to need another bot. Your job is to actually come over here. Grab apples until your hands are full. You're going to come over here and you're going to plant the apples. You're going to do this until your hands are empty. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now, I'm well aware that I could set it up so that way they have to check storage to see if storage is filled before doing their jobs, but as I said, much like the guy digging the holes for the apple trees, the guy planting the apple trees, that's not going to be his permanent job. In fact, once all the holes are dug and all the trees are planted, I'm probably going to reprogram both of these guys to just simply, you know, start harvesting the apples from the trees. And then once that happens, I'll move storage down here and then build 2 more bots to program to take the apples to storage. And I don't need... where is... Here we are, fruit flyers. And I don't need robots to replant the apples, just simply because... Why is he just sitting there? Alright, it's put until hand's not empty again. It's weird. I could have sworn I clicked hands empty. Anyway, it gives them time to basically dig more holes. As I was saying, I don't need a bots to take the apples and replant the apples because the trees just grow more. I just need a pair of bots to harvest the apples and a pair of bots to pick them up and stow them in storage. The logician will then take them from storage and dump them wherever. Of course, my next question would be, would I have enough apples in storage to do that? But I should technically have this field still be active, so they're still going to harvest the he's out of wooden mallets. Because the guy making the mallets, I think, is unpowered because he's sitting in the road, and I have yet to get a recharger for the road. Much like carrots and coconuts, it's on the to-do list. Also, building the road. That's kind of important as well. Luckily, I only have like one bot that actually needs mallets. Maybe two. Possibly three. No, it looks like it's actually just the one guy hitting the tree for fruit, the one guy recharging everybody, and then the one guy collecting the fruit. So I don't actually have a pair of bots doing anything. Which reminds me, I should actually get a pair of recharging bots for the new apple farm. Orchard. Apple orchard. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to keep this field active until the new field is planted, unlike turning off these other two fields before starting the new ones. Alright, gonna recharge his bot here, and no, he's not staying here in his search area. I'm gonna come down here. Hit this search area. Do forever. Now go. And I probably should not have had him say sitting on bot construction output because I couldn't figure out which bot was which. Luckily, I grabbed the right one by accident. Or by chance. Or by luck. Or by... One time I need somebody to recharge. Can't seem to find anybody. Okay, so that field is covered now. Just dig up these mushrooms so that way this guy can work. I gotta get my axe to chop down the other tree. Oh, there's the axe. And probably these two trees as well. And then he's out of power. Okay, one of these has to be the recharging bot. Where did I pick up a log? Put down the log. Okay. Now these guys should be fully powered back on. It's never fun when the recharging bots, all two of them, also run out of power at the exact same time. Alright, so... The mushroom field, I gotta be honest, looks exactly the same as when I last left it. Barely any mushrooms growing. I guess they're digging up the mushrooms and digging new holes as fast as they're planting new ones. Which seems kind of odd, truth be told. But it's how it is. I do only have 2 Mark 1 bots digging up mushrooms, right? Find soil, so he's digging the holes after the mushrooms are dug up. As are you. You're digging up mushroom. You're digging up mushroom. No, part of me actually wants you to stop real quick. So that way they're not digging up the mushrooms as fast. I want to see if the guys planting the mushrooms can actually catch up. Because it looks like there's actually quite a few mushrooms just laying about. You're picking up the mushrooms. Who is... making hole, recharging. Digging up mushrooms. There's loose mushroom. Planting mushroom. Planting mushroom. I only have 1 bot collecting the mushrooms. Because you're a basic bot, you're a basic bot, or Mark 0 bot. All these others are Mark 0 bots. Whom I've yet to actually reassign elsewhere. And by reassign elsewhere, I mean basically remove all their programming and throw them into the unemployment pile. So that explains why the mushrooms weren't getting... The mushroom field wasn't actually getting as filled as it should have been. Going to come here. You're going to pick up a mushroom. You're going to find all the nearest mushroom in this area. Then you're going to plant the mushroom. Well, hang on. No, wrong one. Here we are. Do this until hands full. Do this until hands empty. And the area to do it in is going to be this 15 by 15 spot. You do that forever. Now go. Alright, so hopefully that should be... Now I should have 2 bots picking up mushrooms. In fact... we continue now. My original thought was that if I only had 1 bot digging up the mushrooms, they means that the mushrooms are being removed at a slower pace than they're being planted. But the real problem was that the mushrooms weren't being planted as quickly as they should have been. Of course, now I question why there's this big old hole here. But if memory serves, I think I actually had that same problem with, well, the guys, the original mushroom field. On the plus side, the apple field looks to be about halfway done. And I still need to clean out the pumpkin field. Actually, get rid of this stump right here. And then fill this hole back in. that way the basic bot building this boundary, wherever he is, should stop by and then put a turf here. And on a fun note, they're actually done this field. They are actually done this field. And they're almost done this field. They got a little bit more work to do. So, yeah, I got the berry field done. The mushroom field is, well, being worked on. I got apples being populated. All I got to do is clear out this pumpkin field, well, this field, and then I can use it for the pumpkins, or plumpkins as I like calling them. These two fields can be for the carrots and coconuts, if and when I ever get around to dealing with those. Wheat can go here, cotton can go here, and then I can have 3 more fields, maybe 5 more fields if need be, for any other crops I happen to come across. I am going to need at least 1 field for grass, for the cows and the sheep and all that fun stuff when I ever get around to animal husbandry, which should actually be a pinned plan. I got farming livestock, which is shearing sheep actually. Oh, another livestock one, which is cows. And then of course coconuts and carrots, masonry work, construction work, which is building sandy tracks and dry stone walls, and then baking, which is turning the wheat into bread, which means I shall then finally have something to use all the wheat seeds for, or cereal seeds for. And build water storage to collect water, because a lot of the upgraded recipes I believe need it, as well as the clay pots. At the very least, the what is it, crude cereal storage? Oh, I just realized I'm going to need... No, actually the upgraded recipes all require fresh water, so I'm going to need multiple water storages, one for the colonists, I almost forgot the name of the team, one to irrigate the wheat field so that way I can get cereal seeds or cereal crops faster and in greater number, because I always need more of something that I don't actually use right now, but once all that happens I can actually get around to using it, because I now have the food storage areas upgraded. I just need to change over the recipes, and once that's done and I can get the textiles up and running, which will require cotton, and their fields are actually cleared right now. Anyway, textiles up and running, I can then start making clothes and also upgrade their housing, which I also have more plans for. Instead of building fruit huts, I can build basic houses out of straw, if memory serves. But straw comes from the cereal field, and if I build a bunch of housing using straw and that needs straw to maintain it, and the cereal and the farmer's bob, which maintain the cereal crop field, have tied to stop working when this storage gets filled, they won't keep making straw, which means I will eventually run out. So I need something to pull the cereal seeds out of storage so they keep working, or the farmer's bob keep working, I should say, which would then as a byproduct produce more straw, which I can then use to build and maintain houses, as well as I think build torches for lighting. I think the one plan that requires for dirt sandy tracks also requires straw. I think one of the advanced plans also requires straw, and once all the fields have been moved and upgraded and all that fun stuff, and I may need to move the original Woodcutters Guild, at least this area. The old Woodcutters Guild needs to be moved down to here and expanded and upgraded and whatnot, because I need 2 to keep up with wood demand. But once that's done, I can use this space here for an upgraded Smith & Sons, or possibly up here, which would include the ability to make panels and square frames and planks, well, not planks, I already got somebody making planks with the Woodcutters Guild, but square frames and panels, and I can mass produce them, which means I don't need to make them by hand. So things like bot storage don't have to wait on me using a large pile of resources just to make a small quantity of stuff to make this thing. And also, a lot of the other advanced buildings also require those things, and I'm fairly certain, if I get right up to it, it would most likely be a case that he's actually done digging up all the spots for more apples, and I think once he grabs an armful of apples, all that's left are these 3 holes, and the apple field should be planted. Oh, goody. But as I was saying, as stuff gets done without my knowledge, as I said, I can just have these guys move on and keep going. So that's the plan, to further expand and automate and upgrade, and by the time I get all of this done and everything in the way, it'll probably be 2 episodes over, and at which point I can then go to the research station, upgrade it, and get access to the tier 3 stuff. Because, actually, no, I don't actually have cotton researched yet. That's right, I figured cotton would be its own pile of crazy, so I didn't do that, but I dig up cotton, right? Where's the Autonautopedia? Resources, parts, food, clothes. Cotton lint comes from cotton. I actually need to scythe the cotton down, which just gets replanted. Okay. Let me just do that real quick. Alright, no cotton seeds. I wonder where the cotton seeds come from. I probably have to, like, thresh the cotton in some way. Alright, so now I can start processing cotton and can... Let me just put this here. Alright, and on the plus side, the apple field is now fully grown. But as I was saying, once the textiles are done being researched, I can upgrade the research station and start researching tier 3 technologies, which are upgraded equipment, more crops to grow, more parts to build, all that fun stuff. And once I get access to that, I get to do this whole expansion and upgrading thing all over again. Because goodness knows, everything that I've expanded so far won't be enough. It's not like I don't have plenty of room, it's just I only move when I need to, I only expand and build things when I need them, and right now I don't need the extra space. But all those plans and all that fun stuff and everything that I just explained, we're not being distracted, all of that will have to wait until next time, because I'm going to have to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.